Hi everyone, welcome to Blarney Castle and Gardens, and for this week's little video I wanted to bring you back into the Belgian beds, and you can see why. It's stunning, and we've got a great day for it because it was raining quite heavily a few minutes ago. It's been thundery downpours today, but it's just cleared and the sun's come out and everything is just lush, and you can see it's really lifted the greenery and the colours. And in front of me here are the Belgian beds. These are the Evergreen Azalea beds, and behind in the distance we've got deciduous beds as well. And really for the next 3 or 4 weeks these will be at their peak, and just as they come into flower, you can see this azalea is peaking at the moment. They really are the showstopper in the gardens and very hard to beat. And we find that a lot of our tourists tend to flock to this area and hang around, so it's always nice to see groups of people stopping and appreciating. But what I wanted to do with you today was take a little stroll through the beds so you can just see the extent and follow the road as we walk. And I'll talk a little bit about the history as well. So historically, the original plants came from suppliers in Belgium, and the beds were created on this side of the road. And there were, I believe, 4 beds initially put in at the front and another 5 or 6 further back, all planted with specimen azaleas and larger rhododendrons, varying in height as you went further back into the beds. But then over the last few years we've actually added beds on this side as well to create more of an avenue effect, and to give the impression of walking through the beds rather than just kind of bypassing them. And so these beds are only really in their fourth year after planting, and they're maturing away very nicely. And we've now started to add our cherry collection. So over the autumn we sourced a range of cherry trees. They're all Japanese varieties. And they came from the UK, from the national collection holder, so they're all quite rare and special, but dotted through the Belgian beds and right the way down round by the castle and down all the way down our existing cherry avenue to the main entrance. We now have the cherries, so it'll be a cherry walk in years to come. And I couldn't pass by this bed without quickly showing you the bluebells, and swathes of bluebells and wild garlic still out right through our woodlands as well, but we let them creep into the beds where appropriate. They're doing very well here. It's actually under a walnut tree. A lot of things will not grow under walnuts, but the bluebells don't seem to mind. I'll also quickly whiz over to show you and revisit an old friend. This is a paperback maple, Acer Grissium, which I showed you a little while back in the winter, but you can see now it's coming into growth nicely. It's even flowering up here, but it's the bark's the main feature. This lovely mahogany coloured bark with its peeling pieces which break off when you touch them, but when the light shines through this, it's a really great feature, and certainly one of my favourite smaller trees. Often trees tend to get too large for the urban gardens, but this one is probably around 40 years old at this size, so not a huge tree by any means, and certainly one worth considering if you're looking for something to squeeze into the garden. So there's a quick walk through and an overview of the Belgian beds, and we're going to pop over to Olive now, who's going to show you the plant of the week, and after that I think we're going to show you some other new arrivals. So we'll see you shortly.
Thanks, Adam. This week's plant of the week is coming to you from the herbaceous border. That's springing to life nicely with all the rain. And it is called Hesperus Metronalis, and this one is the white form Alba. We have the purple form as well for sale in the plant sales area. They're biennial, they flower in the 2nd year, but really they can live more than 2 years, and they do seed themselves around the place as well. They grow to about 2.5 to 3 feet in height, and they like full sun, part shade. A really lovely old-fashioned kind of plant, lovely sweet smell from it as well. Some people call it phlox, but the common name is sweet rocket. So Hesperus Metronalis is purple, and this is the white form Alba. Get them while they're going down in the plant sales area. All right, thanks a lot. See you soon.
So we have a lovely little surprise here in our stables, and I think the easiest thing is if Paul just pops his head over the door and shows you. These are our new arrivals. 2 mummies and a batch of ducklings. Now, these arrived in our kitchen garden last week, and we've brought them into the stables for their own safety for the next couple of weeks, just while they grow on a little bit. And when they're a little bit older and have matured, and we'll bring back out into the kitchen garden, and we'll give you an update then as they're out around the gardens. But they're lovely little things, as you can see, and they're a cross breed duck. You'll see the shape of them, they're quite upright. That's the Indian runner parentage. And so these ones are probably 3/4 Indian runner and 1/4 Aylesbury, which are the more traditional sort of short, fat white ducks that you see. And we have them in our gardens because they're great for rooting out the slugs and snails and such like. So a good organic pest control system. They're also extremely comical and great to watch, but also very cute at the moment at this stage. So lovely to see, and another new arrival to add to our collection. So there you go. And just before we go this week, I just wanted to finish here next to our Judas tree, which is Cercis siliquastrum. And this is a lovely small tree or large shrub, grows up to about 5 or 6 meters maximum. But as you can see, this time of year, it's stunning. And if Paul wants to zoom in, I'll just show you a close-up. The flowers actually come out before the leaves. The leaves are just starting to appear, these lovely little heart-shaped leaves, but the flowers actually are on the stems themselves. And you can see it's a great colour. So the Judas tree, and just apt to show you that this time there's colour all around us, but this is one that people always ask about because it's an unusual one. So that's it for this week, and hopefully we'll see some of you in the gardens and possibly on better days than today. So thanks a lot. Bye bye.